Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
After roughly 7 weeks of being closed, salons and barbers are now swamped with a backlog of customers. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly found out that it's not easy getting that fresh new cut look. You'll have to be willing to wait your turn.
The Great Clips parking lot filled with people waiting to have their hair cut. To keep people socially distanced, the lobby is closed to customers. They are adjusting to the new normal by waiting in their vehicles.
It's really hard to kind of sit here and not be able to just go inside.
And people say they've been waiting a while.
I logged on this morning and the wait time was 180 minutes and it probably took over 200 minutes, and I just went inside and they said, you can't wait inside, you have to go outside and wait for about 15 minutes and they'll come out and let us know when they're ready for me.
Area salons say they can't cut hair fast enough as customers are all returning at the same time. Max Schultz said about 40 people were on the list with a 140-minute wait time when he checked in.
Usually the list is like 4 or 5 people. Well, it's what happens after 2 months of not being able to get your hair cut.
The salons that have reopened their doors say they are also seeing overflow from the locations that haven't opened up yet. Their customers needing a place to go.
It's good to see people back to work and people getting out and spending money and the economy getting going.
Some hairstylists say they are even working overtime to compensate for the increase in customers. They say if you do need a haircut, grab a mask, call ahead, and be prepared not to be served instantly. In Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
The hair salons we spoke to today say they're moving away from walk-in appointments for the time being and say that they're scheduling appointments 2 months out. One person is dead, another person is in jail in what appears to be an overdose death. It happened on May 2nd in a fourplex in Waubun, Minnesota. Authorities found an adult female who showed signs of an overdose. They gave her Narcan and began CPR, but the victim died at the scene. A search of the apartment revealed over 14 grams of heroin and nearly $2,500 in cash. Tracy Beauchamp, 30 years of age, of Minneapolis, was arrested for first-degree controlled substance, sales, and second-degree controlled substance and possession. Fargo Public School Board members have a lot on their plate as they ready for tomorrow night's scheduled meeting. The district continues to wrestle with growing enrollment numbers in the Southside middle and high schools. A $58.5 million project was proposed to be built near Davies High School. It was defeated at the last meeting, but it could resurface tomorrow. Boundary changes are now the focus as a way to relieve pressure from both Discovery and Davies. That meeting is scheduled to start tomorrow at 5:30 in the afternoon. Stay updated on our VNL News app. North Dakota students will have limited access to schools this summer, including summer school, Head Start programs, and standardized testing. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum calls it a soft opening and it'll take effect June 1st. The June openings must follow the CDC guidelines and they'll be moving forward in tandem with the rules of the daycare facilities.
Testing going forward is going to be how we get people back into schools and back into other things that we do, whether it's K-12 or higher ed, that involve lots of people together. Testing is key to that.
Also, from May 15th through the 31st, schools will be open so that students and parents can drop off laptops and other learning devices. The North Dakota Department of Transportation says it's doing more cleaning at rest areas to comply with health guidelines. Some are being cleaned 3 times a day, including disinfecting toilets, sinks, and benches. Others are being cleaned hourly because of high traffic.
We have people that come in and clean the facilities, and when COVID-19 came into being, we worked with them and paid them extra to increase their cleaning frequencies.
Cleaning crews are also disinfecting drink machines and doorknobs in between deep cleaning sessions. Another person has died with COVID-19 in North Dakota. A man in his 90s from Cass County had underlying health conditions. It's the 36th death linked to the virus in North Dakota. 24 of those deaths are from COVID-19. 4 died with the virus, and 8 are still pending death records. Overall, another 27 positive cases were reported in the state, 16 of those in Cass County, bringing the state's total to 1,518. 672 cases are considered active, 34 patients are hospitalized, and that's 5 more from the day before. In Minnesota, 13 more people have died from the coronavirus, bringing the state's total to 591. 452 Minnesotans remain in the hospital right now. 194 are in ICU. Overall, another 528 residents tested positive, bringing the state's total to 11,799. 7,536 patients are listed as no longer needing isolation. That's an increase of 654 from yesterday. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz signed an executive order today allowing students in critical care sectors to attend classes for needed in-person training or testing in order to graduate. The order will fill workforce shortages by accelerating entry into critical sectors for up to 1,000 students. They will serve Minnesota's most vulnerable populations. With 1 week left in the governor's stay-at-home order, some Republicans are trying to speed up the reopening process. Today, the state Senate passed a bill that would allow Minnesota businesses, including restaurants, a lot more freedom over when and how they reopen. Reporter Esme Murphy has our story from the state capitol.
The frustrations over the existing stay-at-home order are spilling over. Several Republican senators are questioning the fairness of it. Big box stores are open and a lot of small businesses remain closed.
So what kind of baffles me here, members, is the double standard. I see that the little box stores are being heavily restricted and having all kinds of measures that are in your bill here that were not applied to the big box stores.
But opponents warn that the governor's existing path of slowly reopening is the wise one, that frightening cautionary tales already exist right here in Minnesota.
A number of different people have been infected. And those families and those workers are at risk.
Also today at the Capitol, there was frustration with the state health department's modeling on the COVID crisis after new figures showed a higher number of deaths under one scenario. Republicans accused MDH and the governor of not being transparent.
What's a little confusing for me is which model is the governor telling us so that we can understand and participate and walk side by side in making good decisions.
MDH insists they will be out with new modeling later this week that will contain new case projections as well as new projections for deaths and when the peak might finally come in Minnesota. Republicans say that kind of information is long overdue.
And while the Senate passed the measure for a quicker reopening of the state's economy, it's still not likely to go far in the House. Right now, it's stalled in a House committee. There will be no Red River Valley Fair or North Dakota State Fair this summer. Leaders for both events made the decisions following recommendations from the state health department. Red River Valley Fair Executive Board President Vern Hoffman says in these unprecedented times, it is for the safety of everyone that we cancel this year's fair. Now, if you purchased a 2020 Mega Pass at the fair office or PetroServe USA gas station, you can bring your ticket to the fair office for a refund. Portions of Fargo Sports Arena will be reopening to the public starting tomorrow. There will be limited hours and precautionary steps while opening. The walking track and weight room will open. Social distancing will be enforced at the walking track. The weight room is limited to one user at a time with a 30-minute time limit per person. The arena will be open Monday through Friday from 7 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. The other indoor facilities will stay closed for now.
All right, Mike, temperatures are chilly already with the setting sun really allowing things to quickly cool off. The coldest of the air slowly shifting off to the east. So we have 20s in places like Gilliman, Attawapiskat, 36 in Fargo, 44 in Pierre. And here's a look at Venus, time-lapsed over just 15 minutes. When you zoom in just a little bit from our Home of Economy camera there in Grand Forks, you can see it racing across the sky. Here's where it is now, and 36 degrees out at Hector International. That wind settling down substantially. not as gusty as earlier straight out of the north. Now, where you see the whites here, temperatures are dipping below freezing in western Roseau County, slipping down into parts of, say, eastern Polk County right now. As we look off to the west, 37 Devils Lake and Gwinner, 34 in Grand Forks this hour with 39 in Wahpeton. It's chilly out there, and we have clear skies over us. Clouds and showers that are locked in to the south and west of us, not advancing towards us at this point. So we are stuck in the cold as we have that north wind continuing. Here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast as we set things into motion overnight. The coldest of the air is going to be sliding and is sliding right now into northwest Minnesota. A few of you will see briefly some teens out there, but many of us, that hard freeze, hours below freezing, and even into the 20s for many of us. But as the sun rises before the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to quickly start warming up. The first half of your morning looks very nice, quiet, very sunny. The wind won't be too strong either, and temperatures will be working their way to around 45 degrees for most areas. Then as we head into the afternoon, by 6 o'clock, notice the increase in clouds and wind. That wind direction, a big key. Warmer air is going to work its way in, but it'll take a bit of time. By the 10 o'clock hour tomorrow, it looks like the clouds will be pushing into the Devils Lake Basin and the southern Red River Valley for here in Fargo. So increasing clouds and some increasing wind in our western and southwestern counties. Temperatures 50 to 55 for many across eastern North Dakota, and even into central Minnesota, where Lakes Country will be in the low to mid 50s. We've come a long way from this weekend. Forest Hills, Tracy capturing this rolling pile of snow off the windows there. Upwards of 5 inches in Walsh County, North Dakota. This morning, Rick trying to save the asparagus out there, sprinkling water on it to do so. Freezing water actually releases heat as it freezes, slowing down how cold things get. That can help. Christy says, well, the rabbit might make more appearances in the planning forecast if it would just warm up. Hutch, what's going to happen? Well, not Wednesday. We get cooler, breezier, and a good chance of some soaking showers moving through. As we go through the day, those will quickly push off to the east into Minnesota. That leaves us with a late week warming trend that makes Hutch smile a mile. 58 Thursday. 60s for Friday, but 60s still below average for this time of the year. Average highs are near 70, and we get there on Sunday. 70 and sunny after a few sprinkles on Saturday. And how about Monday, Mike? Looks like temperatures for some near 80 degrees.
I'm going to declare we're going to turn the corner and we won't look back from that point on.
I don't want to look back.
All right, nor do I. Thanks. Some states consider giving businesses legal immunity if customers or employees get COVID-19. An attorney weighs in. That's next on Valley.